Welcome to Work Smarter. I'm Stacy, and I'm bringing you insight and tools to help you accelerate your fulfillment and success. Today we're talking about such a common, powerful dilemma. That is, do you choose financial stability or the job you really want? This is such a classic internal struggle between what is such a very valid value of security and meeting lifestyle needs versus following your compelling desire to break free and do what you're meant to do. The bad thing about staying in dilemma land is that it always keeps you wanting with no resolution. It eats away at you, pushing you further into self-doubt and paralyzing stagnation. And it feeds the gremlin fears that keep you risk averse. So not a good thing. We want to move you out of that. How do you do that? Well, the first thing that I want to do is ask why. Why do you have this need for financial stability? Why do you need a certain salary level? Why do you want to have a certain amount of money in the bank? And don't just say, well, because I need to plan for retirement. Okay, well, so does everyone. But drill this down about 5 or 6 times. Keep asking whatever your answer is, keep asking why. Why do I want that? Why did I say that answer? Drill it down to that core belief so you know actually where it's coming from. As oftentimes it arises from something that's happened to us in the past, maybe even a false belief that we're holding on to. And so you want to dig and really understand why that's important to you. Ask the why. Another thing to do is to evaluate what is actually a true need that you have versus something that you're just worrying about or a misperception. You know, oh, well, if I take the job that I want, then I'm gonna have to completely start over and I'll never make enough money. Okay, well, that sounds like a false belief you're telling yourself. What is it that's actually true that you need versus something that you can let go of or actually be open to changing in your life? And allow space for your true authentic values to rise to the top. You know, if you give them space and you let them rise up, you might actually identify that the value of joy, of fulfillment, of maybe helping or contributing in some way to the world, that is equally, if not much more powerful than this need for the financial stability and that conception of what that is for you. Okay, then the next thing I want to do is play this out. Ask yourself the what if questions. What if I did take a pay cut of $20,000 for the next 3 to 5 years? What if I did need to make some lifestyle changes? What if I actually did the job that I wanted to do? What if I got there? What would that be like for me? And how would it change my life for the better? Play that out, write out your answers, because that's gonna unlock some things for you. Another thing to know is that there's always a way to create what you want. There always is. There's so much flexibility here. One of the ways that you can have some room to create both of the financial stability and that fulfillment is to consider additional revenue streams. Maybe there's real estate that you could invest in or another type of financial investment. Maybe you could create an online knowledge product or consult or be an adjunct professor. There's a lot of other things that you can think of that you can add into the mix to help make this a more stable transition for you. Another thing I want you to do is talk to people who have done this. You probably know someone. If not, reach out to me and I can connect you to some people who have. I had a client once who had his fingers so tight on that permanent position, that check that came every week, and he didn't want to let go. But he eventually did. He released and he started his own business, and you know what? He hit his annual revenue target in Q1, and he's been doing awesome ever since. And then know too that this is a bridge process. It's never, oh, I quit my job, I lost everything, and now I have to start over, and I leapt across the canyon and here I am. It's nothing as dramatic as that. No one's pushing you to jump across that. Think of it as building a bridge. It's gonna be small steps along the way, and you can build that with clarity and still have a little bit of a safety net so you don't feel like you're taking a huge risk or making big mistakes. Take small steps. It's a bridge process. And then finally, know that clarity comes from engagement and not just thought. So take that small step. When you're taking that step across the bridge, learn. Say, you know what, all right, step one, I'm just gonna learn more about what I want to do, what's gonna be fulfilling for me. The more you expose yourself to new ideas and experiences, you're collecting information, the clearer this is gonna get for you. the easier it's going to get too, actually. So I hope that helps, and it gives you some ways to process and work your way through this dilemma of financial security versus finding fulfillment, pursuing that ideal path that you've always wanted. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.